This right here represents the future of New World Aeternum, and I've got to say it's actually pretty damn huge. Some massive things in here, and one of them I just can't believe they've done it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the future of New World in 2025. So what they did a dev video today, and they announced and revealed this thing called the Living Roadmap. We'll explain exactly what that is in a minute, but basically we have Season 7, things that they are currently working on, and then things that they are basically thinking about. That's behind me. Don't worry, I'll slide over there in a minute. So let's just jump straight into the things that they talk about. They don't really show anything, so we're just going to stay on the roadmap. So yeah, let's jump in. The first major thing that they do talk about, though, are these new introduction of these seasonal worlds. They're going to do these every season, and they're going to last basically 3 months, the duration of the season. And the rule set is going to change, and it's basically fresh start servers every season. For the people who like fresh start servers, that's great. For the people who don't, I kind of hope they boost the XP a little bit so I don't have to spend that much time leveling, don't have to pay attention to the story and stuff like that. But yeah, it sounds really good. And the first one they're doing is one that a lot of people will be excited about. For me, I'm a little bit, I have a little bit of trepidation about it, but a lot of people are going to be excited about it because it's going to be always on PvP. Now, not a full loot, but there is some looting involved. After I think level 15, you're just going to be always on PvP, which I'm going to guess is faction based, by the way. And if you actually want to play that, then you might want to join my guild. If you sign up in the Discord, I say sign up, you literally just click New World Applicant. And as soon as you're in the guild, I'll give you the right role and we'll all be in there together. I'm not vetting players. I'm not checking your gear. I'm not checking your skill level. If you want in, everybody is welcome. That also applies for Fresh Start server where we're on Draco and we're yellow. And it also applies to Nisa on Legacy where we're purple. Come and join. We do the raid every week on both of those as well. Everybody is welcome. But yeah, we're going to be doing this PvP server. And they did mention stuff about special items that I think basically you have to have something on you which you can drop, but you need to have it on you to go and get some resources that you'll need for the gear. And they said the gear, they're just going to go a little bit wild. Some of the gear that you're going to be able to craft will be on par with things like artifacts. They're really sort of letting the herd down, experimenting, and just trying new things. Apparently also crafting is going to be very strong on that server, which is very interesting. A lot of people have wanted that since the very start of New World because New World does PvP very well. It's probably its best thing. And yeah, that's going to be exciting. Come and join me or just play it yourself. It's going to be super fun. The next thing that they talk about is a new Outpost Rush map. The Mad Lads are actually doing it. There's going to be a new Outpost Rush map. Now, they're only going to be doing a preview of this, which I think they said will last 1 week. That preview, I don't know why they're not doing it in the PTR. They're going to do it, I think, in the live version, make some tweaks and changes based on feedback, and then actually release it. This goes in line with all of their new mode feature, which I kind of wonder if it's going to be like the arena where it replaces the old one for like a week, or if it will run alongside it. I'm guessing it's going to replace the map. Either way, I would love a rotating map. The Mad Lads have done it. We've been doing the same map for 3 years, and it's been a disgrace. They're actually doing it. The next thing that they spoke about are these mutated expedition upgrades. So there are a couple of things here. The rewards are getting improved because a lot of people aren't really doing M3s. You kind of either do M1s, chest runs, or the raid. So what they're going to do is try and change that by buffing the rewards, and they're going to be put it in the matchmaking. Now you might think that's a little bit chaotic because of the gems. Well, it would have been, but now instead of needing different gems because of different mutations, all the mutations are going to be the same. So if it's Fire Week, it's going to be Fire Week. Kind of funny because I was literally talking about that on stream today and I suggested that very thing. I'm not suggesting they listen to me, of course not, they would never listen to me, but that means it can go in the matchmaking. You can all just make sure you've all got your fire gems or whatever it is, and your Gucci. Presumably you'll also get a buff because it's an M3 and you're doing it with a chaotic group, and they're making the rewards better. Whether or not they'll make them so good that you actually need it, I'm not sure. They did speak overall about maybe having more horizontal progression with more perks and stuff like that. So it kind of sounds like vertical progression is going to be something very limited. But yeah, that could be very interesting. They then spoke about new daily solo trials. Now, the problem with this is the solo trials as they are in the game are completely pointless. They give very limited gold. They don't give you very good items. The rewards need buffing for that. Otherwise, it's completely pointless. Potentially some really fun, difficult, challenging content with good rewards. In reality, pretty boring, not rewarding. You can pretty much just skip it. Of course, every season we're going to get combat balance updates. They spoke about the time to kill coming down. Well, at the minute, let's be honest, New World's in a little bit of chaos because there's so many exploits and stuff like that that need fixing. Whether it's the elemental band, whether it's Carnelian gem, if you know the rune glass. There's a billion things. We need those fixed, probably more important than almost anything on this list at the minute. It's pretty shocking, to be honest. They are going to be doing new artifacts and perks. We spoke about the horizontal progression. That's going to happen. I'm surprised they're not slowing down on the artifacts, but they spoke about how it's going to be 7 new weapons and 1 new earring, I think they said. They are going to be, I think they're not going to be adding any seasonal events, but they're going to be buffing the rewards, sort of what we saw with the Halloween event. So that's season 7. If I'm honest, like, a seasonal world is not really content for the people who don't want to play it, and the rest of that is not really content for the people who don't want to actually do that seasonal world. A new Outpost Rush map, sure, but it depends when it actually gets released. Buff to mutations, solo trials. I mean, the new solo trials, they actually are new solo trials, but I think they're existing solo trials just reworked. I don't think they're actually new to the story or anything like that. And then the rest is just new items and that kind of jazz. So if you're looking for content, Season 7 is actually a little bit short on content, let's be real, but the new Outpost Rush map and the seasonal mode pretty much saves it. So quite happy with that. It's going to be very interesting. Now I'll stay where I am before I reveal the thing behind me. The next thing is in development. So these are the things that they are currently working on. Obviously, there is some tentative things here. Things might change, things might get reworked, etc. But this is kind of the focus for season 8 or 9 or even possibly beyond. I'm not sure the timeframes. Obviously, they're going to be doing new seasonal worlds because that's the thing. They're going to be doing fresh start server every time. They talked about endgame progression improvements. They say here cross-character progression, including the seasonal worlds, wraparound XP, which I think basically is that like once you get to the end of it, it'll maybe carry over either on your same character or not. Umble's version 2. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, right? They didn't actually talk about too much in the video here, so we're not really sure what they are. I'll keep going down. They did mention new PvP modes. They mentioned a capture the flag mode. And they mentioned a battle royale mode. So I think they're planning basically this like rotating game mode, capture the flag, battle royale. That all sounds very juicy. As long as the game's not full of exploiters who are, tanky as balls and won't die or doing way more damage than they should or rapid firing and stuff like that. You need to get on that Amazon. I'm going to keep going on about it. There's going to be new mode maps as well, which I think basically means we're going to do more Outpost Rush maps or more arena maps. There's going to be an invasion mode. Now, I didn't quite get the point of that. Maybe they mentioned it in the video, but basically invasions are at specific times, so they're going to kind of get rid of that. I'm not really sure why people would do this still. It depends on the rewards. Does it actually benefit the territory or not? I'm not sure. One big thing that they then went on to speak about as well was the endgame reputation system. So what they talked about in theory is, like when you have reputation in each zone, about that stuff actually mattering. Now, that's a bit of a problem for me because I have not been grinding that out. I literally don't touch that. I hate that system. It's completely pointless. They're going to make it a lot more important, and there are going to be more benefits in that zone and stuff like that. Give you a reason to actually go and craft in certain areas and gather in certain areas. It kind of sounds fun, but, we'll have to wait and see what they actually deliver with that one. They spoke about territory system improvements. I actually don't think they did speak about that. I think they just have it on the roadmap. They've been promising this forever. It's about goddamn time. Let's just do it, Amazon. Pickup wars they actually did speak about. I'm a little bit worried for me that a pickup war where it would basically just be a random queue would be Outpost Rush. Thankfully, they're not doing that. What they actually said is that you'll be able to like challenge other companies and like declare like that. So let's say you're in Bangan's company and you want to fight our company, we'll just schedule that war. Okay, great, super fun. It gives a chance for people to actually try other people in wars without, just throwing them in or watching VODs and stuff like that. Could be really cool. Could also just be an addition of like a toxic level of gameplay that I don't understand. But yeah, they mentioned crafting improvements here. They didn't really speak about this in the video. Crafting at the minute is kind of in a weird place. The only thing that's worth crafting is the pattern that you get from the Gorgon, but nobody actually can craft that because nobody really has the schematic. If you do, you do, but most people don't. But gathering is still usable because when you craft with the Gorgonite Inductor, which is like crafting, except you don't actually have your professions leveled up, you still use the materials, but it costs so much materials that a lot of people aren't even doing that at this point. For the invasions, they talk about difficulties. I'm assuming that'll go in with the invasion mode. We'll have to wait and see what one. We don't really know what it's going to be. Then they talk about endgame rewards and system improvements. I kind of feel like the progression as a whole needs a rework, but I don't know if that's what they mean. They did mention global storage. It sort of confirmed that global storage is coming to the game. So if you're in bloody Morningdale and you want to craft in Weaver's Fen, or you want to like check your gear, it's just going to be unified. Now, they also spoke about how that's going to be able to be like, have to be sorted and actually worked with, but also really super cool. They never mentioned it, but they mentioned Barbershop here. Scott Lane said, I think before the game came out, that he can't imagine an MMO without it. Well, I can, because that's what New World's been for the last 3 years, but it's finally coming. And then let's actually talk about this roadmap a little bit. We have next season, which we know is coming in season 7, in development, which is probably season 8 and season 9. This in exploration thing, there's no dates for this. They're not even saying they're going to do this. It's very much all up in the air, and they want your feedback to the ones that you actually want. Now, new weapons, they said they are going to do at a higher cadence, which I kind of enjoy. They're going to be doing them more frequently, which probably means more trouble for balance, but they say they're going to do new weapons. You dagger enjoys, probably get your hopes up there. Now, the new raid, like, it looks good being here. I'm kind of disappointed it's here and not in season 7. Like, the fact that we're not getting a new raid in ages is pretty crazy. The Gorgon raid, for me, has been some of the most fun content I've had in New World. Some of the best PvE, if not the best PvE I've ever actually had in New World. I like the fact that it's kind of difficult, but not like super, super difficult. And there's no time limit or anything like that. I don't have to stress if people die. It's just, okay, let's dust ourselves off and let's do it again. And then you finish it and you get the rewards. I like that. The fact that we're not getting one for a while, for me, is a little bit of a dagger in the heart. I kind of hate it, but it is what it is. They mentioned raid difficulty levels. I don't want this, to be honest. I'd rather just have what we have, or we have a raid difficulty where it's like normal and hard, and the rewards are very, very similar, and hard is very optional, and you might have a chance of getting a mount if you do the hard version. My worry is that you will like gatekeep the content even more. A lot of people are gatekept out of the Gorgon, and that's causing problems in itself. If you are gatekept, come and join me in EU. All my servers, by the way, are going to be EU because I'm British. I won't gatekeep you. I'll find a place for you. We'll get you in. And we've done it every time, right? We do it all the time. We don't fail. It's not that hard with a little bit of coordination. They say territory system overhaul, which is kind of a bit weird because why are you doing territory system improvements? Like, what are they doing here? I don't really understand. They mention influence tower, claim, siege system with building. I mean, I have no idea what that is. Are they talking about like the open world influence towers being able to like siege them with war machines? I have no idea. They mentioned it but didn't really say anything. They did mention how that might go hand in hand with the company hall. Some kind of like guild thing there will be pretty cool because we are lacking that in New World for sure. They do also talk about how all instance content is going to be available in the matchmaking. That's kind of good because at the minute you can't do the worm, you can't do the seasonal trials, you can't do quite a few things that you kind of need. So that would be interesting. Ranked PvP, this gets a massive tick from me. I would quite like Ranked Arena. Equalized Ranked Arena, I know some of you don't like it, but I kind of would like it. They also have here procedural expeditions with extraction. I don't really understand what the extraction part of this is. Is it means like you go as deep as you can, but if you die, you lose your stuff. So you want to go and then get out? Maybe. Does it mean PvP? I'm not sure. Maybe that is a new PvE mode that they spoke about there. I don't really know. A new exploration and collection system. That'd be pretty cool. MMOs are generally all about exploration and collection. So doing something like that would be cool. Maybe tie it into the reputation mode. Maybe not. Then they also have endgame rewards and systems overhaul. I kind of feel like, what is this then and what is this? I'm not really sure what's going on. Some of this stuff kind of feels a little bit duplicated in my opinion, but still interesting. Then they're also going to be doing zone up levels. They specifically here call out Reekwater. Reekwater, well, they say an up level, but Reekwater is actually already quite high level, but either way, that's going to get its levels updated. Going to have a new reputation thing when that comes out, and it could be interesting. I don't think they actually mentioned anything here about the new zone, except it confirms that a new zone is possibly going to be worked on, and a new trade skill, which, to be honest with you, I have absolutely no idea what that could be. Let me know in the comments below if you have any ideas. Overall, this roadmap is a little bittersweet. It's got some really cool things, but a little bit like, why is this raid, for example, not here? Why is season 7 quite devoid of actual content? Let's be honest. The seasonal world is quite cool, but it's basically just turning on PvP all the time, and unless there's going to be a lot of the stuff, a lot of new items and stuff like that, which there might be. But also, even if it's not, even if it is completely like reworked and it's really cool, then some people who don't want to do that seasonal mode because they don't want always on PvP, then what are they left with? They're left with a new Outpost Rush map that might be 1 week until it actually gets launched. I mean, it's not a lot, right? For some people, it'll be a little bit sad that new weapons and ranked PvP are so far away. That just is what it is. I also don't really like the fact there's quite a lot of things that are kind of like duplicated, like they're doing territory system overall, but they're doing territory system improvements. Like just do one, right? You don't need to do one and then do the other. It doesn't really make sense. I don't mind them laying out a roadmap like this, but what I would say is that this basically means that next season is season 7. This in development bit, let's be honest, that's probably season 8 and season 9. And the in exploration bit, I would not be surprised if this is the next expansion coming at the end of next year. A little bit bittersweet. I'd say that this roadmap is mostly good though. I think I'm mostly optimistic about it. And I'm kind of looking forward to a lot of the content. Just wish there were more raids, wish we actually had more content quicker. A seasonal system like that feels like it could be great, could be cheesing the idea of content just a little bit though. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Come and join my guild. Everybody's welcome in the EU. We'll have some really good, I was almost going to say sexy times. Definitely not sexy times. Although I do always talk about sausage. I'm becoming known for the sausage guy. I'm like the sausage guy now. I don't even know what's going on with my life. Anyway, let me know. Have a most beautiful day. Goodbye.